At MWC 2022, Lenovo brought a handful of Chromebooks to show off, and we've done a video about the other two, the Duet 3, which is really awesome, and the Flex 5i, which kind of reinvents the whole Flex 5 Chromebook family. But we didn't want to forget about this one, and it's a lower cost, more entry-level option, but it's a 15.6-inch display with 300 nits, and it starts at $399. It is the Lenovo Flex 3i. Let's get into it. So sure, this is a more affordable Chromebook, and it's meant to be that, but a lot of times with affordable Chromebooks, the problem is you get all the plasticky parts and a bad screen and a bad trackpad and kind of a crummy keyboard and slow internals, and it kind of gets painful. But at $399, that's where this thing starts. The internals aren't amazing, but the new Jasper Lake processors that are in this, you get the N4500 or the N6000. We've shown this before on this channel, and you know they get along fine, and you get 4 or 8 gigs of RAM inside with up to 128 gigs of internal storage, and so the specs really aren't going to be a problem. And what's really cool is on this one, the screen, the 15.6-inch screen on this one also isn't going to be a problem, because Lenovo, even on an entry-level device, chose to go with a 300 nit screen this time around. So let's look around this thing. Right outside, yes, it is all plastic, but you get this nice two-tone navy color here that everybody seems so fond of these days. I would say it's a little fingerprinty. It's not as bad as the aluminum that's this color. Like any aluminum device that's this navy color seems to pick up fingerprints like crazy, but it is going to pick those fingerprints up. But you get that nice cool texture over here that Lenovo's kind of doing on the Chromebooks now. I really like that. And because it is a small core Intel processor, again, N4500 or Pentium N6000, you don't have to deal with any fans. So across the bottom, there's really nothing going on here save, you know, these big feet, which is nice because it's a 15.6-inch Chromebook, and that means it, you know, needs some stabilization. So I like to see that instead of the 4 small feet. But other than that, there's really nothing going on down here because, again, you don't need fans on small core processors. Along the sides, we have on this side a full-size HDMI port, which I always love to see, especially on larger devices. USB 3.0 port, Type A over here, your volume rocker and power switch in case you want to use this as a huge 15.6-inch tablet. Over on this side, you've got another USB Type A port. It looks like it might be a 2.0 port. Hard to tell. It's not blue, so it could be a 2.0 port there. Headphone, microphone jack, micro SD card slot, and a single USB Type C. I don't know, other than small tablets, the last time we've seen just one USB Type-C. So, I mean, it's a decent array of ports, don't get me wrong, but I would like to see 2 USB Type-Cs on a device that's this size. There's definitely room for it. And as you can see probably on camera, I don't know if I can get the light right on this thing. It's really starting to pick up some fingerprints here, so just know that going in. Let's crack her open here. And before we talk about the screen or anything, I just want to kind of hit on the keyboard. It's not backlit. I don't think they're going to ship a model with a backlit keyboard, but like Lenovo tends to do, and HP does this as well, they just ship good keyboards, and this one's no exception. There's a little bit of flex. Again, it's a plastic chassis. There's a tad bit of flex, but overall, under the fingers, it does feel relatively firm. Keys are really nice and clicky, and you get the numeric keypad over here too. So that's the benefit when you start getting into these larger devices. Numeric keypads can kind of fit in here, and were they with the Flex 5i put the speakers on the left and right, and they definitely could have done that here. They chose to put the speaker grill all the way across the top to make room for that numeric keypad. And again, if you got the space for it, it's always a nice addition. Now, as far as the trackpad goes, again, it's plastic. This isn't a glass trackpad, but it's got a nice smooth surface. A lot of these companies are figuring out how to make trackpads that maybe aren't glass, but still have a really nice smooth feel. And the click is very sure and solid, and I like that, especially in cheaper devices. And it doesn't have any of that wobble or flex to it. So this should be a decent trackpad experience too. Now up top, we are stuck with a 720p webcam. On Lenovo's other new Chromebooks they announced, there's at least 1080p or even better on, like the Duet 3's got a 5 megapixel camera. This one is still 720p, but you do get the privacy shade up here, the physical privacy shade. And again, I'll always say I think this should just be on every Chromebook, on every laptop at this point, we're all in video calls so often, it's nice to know for sure that you've got that camera shut when you want it shut. The final thing I'm going to check out here before we talk about the screen is the speakers. So let me load up one of our YouTube videos. And again, I do want to say that all these Chromebooks that we got are technically pre-production. This one will be available alongside the Duet 3 in May. So we're not far from it being out. However, that does mean there's some time to, further tweak the speakers and stuff on these. So I did notice like the Duet 3 and the Flex 5i, just the speakers seemed a little quiet. And so that could be the case here. I haven't actually tried these out yet. So let's just see what they're capable of. With this huge of a speaker array up top, I'm kind of expecting some pretty decent audio. 2022, Lenovo brought a handful of Chromebooks with them to the show. That's decently loud. Like, I really have to talk over that. To the Lenovo Chromebook Flex 5 this year. Let's get to some music. We've seen yet to the Flex 5. If you remember back in 2020, a little bit of bass response there, but for a device like this, you're not buying this to be some amazing content consumption machine. You're buying it to get the basics done. And if it's got a okay webcam on it, you want good speakers for those video chats and video calls. And so I think these speakers are going to be good. They're upward facing, so you don't have to deal with, like if it's on your lap, having those speakers muffled. And so finally, I want to talk about the screen here. And this is one of the biggest departures I think that we're starting to see in 2022 finally, that we're seeing lower end devices not shipping with terrible screens. This is an IPS display. It's full HD. It's 300 nits, and you just don't see that in $300-400 Chromebooks that often. It's kind of unique, and it seems like Lenovo's understood, like, this is what we're going to do. We're not shipping crummy screens on our devices anymore. And while it's not doing anything wildly new, the viewing angles are good, the colors look good, and it gets plenty bright. I've only got it like 3/4 brightness in here because we'll blow out the cameras with it. With cheap devices normally, that's just not the case. I can just crank it up all the way and not really worry about it. So kudos to Lenovo for shipping better screens in their lower end Chromebooks. And I really do think that the combination we have here is enough performance for most people. If it goes on sale for $300, I mean, you're getting a comfortable, larger workstation type device for a pretty fair price, I think. And hopefully, as it goes on sale this year alongside the new Flex 5i and the new Duet 3, I think Lenovo's got a nice portfolio of Chromebooks to kind of go into the mid part of 2022 with, that could be great deals for different people on different budgets and with different needs with their Chromebooks. But guys, that's been it for this one. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, head down there and hit that subscribe button, and be sure and ring the notification icon as well if you'd like to be alerted when we make future videos just like this one. Until next time, we'll see you.